Hi everybody, this is Melissa. Welcome back to my channel. On today's episode of Foodie Friday, I'm going to be making pizza from scratch today, starting with the dough. It's a super simple and easy recipe. I've made it a couple times and we absolutely love it. So if you're interested in a nice, soft, warm, chewy, doughy pizza crust, then keep on watching. Also, don't forget to like and to subscribe because I do post Foodie Friday every single Friday, along with all kinds of other fun content on Mondays and Wednesdays as well. So come and join the family. Like I said, this is a super easy recipe, so let me tell you what you're gonna need. You're gonna need a medium bowl, a cup of water, some active dry yeast, flour, a little bit of sugar, and some olive oil as well. And that's about it. To check out the full recipe with all the measurements and make sure you don't skip on any of the details, make sure you look below in the description box. I will type it out for you there. So let's get started. Wait, that was like very Rosanna Pansino. What can I say? I don't know. Let's begin. Now your water has to reach 110 degrees Celsius. That's very important to ensure that you activate your yeast. So I'm going to stick this glass measuring cup in the microwave for about a minute and a half. I'm just keeping it real. I don't have a thermometer. I don't know where it went. So in about a minute and a half, it'll be where it needs to be. If you do have a thermometer, go ahead and use it because it makes your life easier if you just do it the right way the first time. While that's going in the microwave, I already have my oven preheated to 450 degrees, so make sure you go ahead and do that before you get started. That way it's ready for you when you're done. This is a very quick pizza dough. Starting with the dry yeast, I'm doing 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast into my bowl as the water is heating up, and then 1 teaspoon of sugar. Where did my sugar go? It's right here. In with the sugar and then the water. Okay, we're gonna let the yeast, sugar, and water mixture just stand for about 10 minutes for it to become nice and creamy, and then we will slowly add the flour and everything else. So 1 second. All right, so it's creamy. It's been a little over 10 minutes. I just realized you could see the chipped part of my counter, but it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Okay, so I already have 2½ cups of my bread flour over here. I have flour all over my shirt too. And I forgot that, I don't remember if I mentioned you need salt also, about ½ teaspoon of salt, and then 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that to the yeast. I'm gonna mix it just with a wooden spoon. You can use a KitchenAid or a stand mixer with the dough hook if you want, but I'm just gonna use this because I don't have one of those. I had one, I got rid of it because it takes up too much space on my counter. And yeah, so we're gonna use this and then let the dough stand for like about 5 minutes and then it's ready. You can wrap it up, put it in the fridge, or you can keep going, which is what I'm gonna do today. So you can just see what you would do if you're gonna keep going. Okay. Let your dough sit for about 5 minutes and then you can put it away if you want to wrap it up, or you can roll it out, which I'm going to wait the 5 minutes and then get to that. Alright, so the dough has been resting for a good 5 minutes. I'm going to turn it out and onto this flour surface that I have. You don't really have to work it too much like typical pizza dough. Like you'll see people throwing it up in the air and doing all that stuff. I mean, I guess you can do that if you want to, but I mean, the whole point of this easy pizza dough is it's easy. You put it together and it's ready to go. Now it's definitely very important to make sure that the temperature of your water is at 110 degrees because if it's too cold, the yeast won't activate, and if it's too hot, I think it also throws off the texture of your dough, because right now I think mine was a little too warm, so it's a little funky, but it'll come out fine. It's worse for it to be not warm enough because the yeast won't do anything. I'm going to slowly work the dough out into a little bit of a circle and place it on top of my greased pizza pan. I bought this, I think I bought it at Bed Bath & Beyond maybe, or maybe at my market. I can't remember. I've had it for a really long time because we love to make pizza. But something like this is great, or you can use a pizza stone. So yeah, I'm just gonna spread it out, work it, and then place it on top of there. And it will go into the oven at 450 degrees for about 10-15 minutes. And then it'll be ready for the toppings and the sauce. I kind of like to grab the ends and just kind of twist it over so that it looks like a crust. And it comes out a little bit thicker on the end. I kind of prefer a nice, thick, doughy, bready crust. That's why I use bread dough. I'm attempting to shape mine into a heart since it's almost Valentine's Day. And also that's kind of like the shape that happened. So let's see what happens. Thumbnail. Okay, the pizza's ready. I'm going to take it out of the oven. It's nice and set and golden brown. It looks really good. It's ready for the toppings. So this is what I do. I'm going to add, I usually always add like a pre-made store-bought pizza sauce. And usually I like to add my own seasoning just to kind of up the flavor. This particular one by Simply Balanced, this is from Target, actually tastes really good on its own. Doesn't really need it, but you can add a little bit. It just kind of depends what your preference is. I don't have too much of this one left. So I'm going to go ahead and plop that in the center and then spread it out. The pizza kept its heart shape for the most part, which is pretty nice. And yeah, so I might have to add a little bit more. You can do this to your liking if you like a lot of sauce or if you prefer less sauce. I have this extra ragu one. I'm going to add a little bit of that because it seems to not be enough to spread across evenly. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more. I don't like too much sauce, but I mean I do want sauce across the whole pizza. So hopefully you can hear me. I need to get a lapel mic. And hopefully you can see. Maybe I'll bring the camera over. Let's bring the camera over. So this is what we did so far. It's a nice funky little heart. And it's hot, so let me see if I can move this over a little bit so you can see. I think I lost a piece of my thing. There we go. Now I'm gonna add the mozzarella. I have bagged this week. If you want to add some seasoning, you can add whole oregano, minced onion, or basil, and or, oh hey, there I am, and or basil. I kind of forgot to add it because the kids are distracting me. Thumbs up for mom life. I'm just gonna have to add a little pinch and spread it all across, not too much, because I think kids won't like it if it's got like way too much flavor in there. So I got a little pinch of oregano. Now I'm gonna do a little pinch of the minced onion. This is like onion flakes. And I like to crunch it up. It helps kind of like, I don't know, I feel like it helps activate the flavors kind of. Sugar. Who's talking? So, a little bit of the onion and now basil. You can also add some dried thyme, whatever it is that you want. I know some people who like to put anise seed on it. To each his own, right? And then I also have some Parmigiano Reggiano for putting on top once it's ready. So anyone who wants some little fancy cheese can have some fancy cheese. Fresh mozzarella is definitely the way to go. But if this is what you like to buy or what you have on hand, this works too. I like a lot of cheese. When we order pizza, we do with extra cheese. So I'm gonna put a lot of cheese. It'll be ready once the cheese is all melted in about 10 minutes or maybe 15. If you prefer a crust that's doughier and softer, you don't have to stick it in the oven first. You can just do it all in the oven. You know, roll it out, put it on the plate or on the pizza pan. Let me set my timer. 10 minutes. So if you're going to put a bunch of toppings, I definitely suggest cooking the dough ahead of time. If you're not and you're just going to do cheese, or you prefer a doughier, softer, more like malleable kind of crust, then you can go ahead and once you roll it out, put your sauce and your cheese on top and pop it in the oven for like 15-20 minutes and it'll be good to go. But again, if you prefer a sturdier crust, then cooking it ahead of, or baking it ahead of time would be better. So let's give it the last 10 minutes and then we will dive in. Okay guys, so that is this pizza ready to go. Now you do need to wait 5 minutes upon taking it out of the oven before cutting into it, because you don't want to burn your mouth, but also you want that cheese to set just a smidge, so it doesn't, you know, fall all over the place before you can stick it in your mouth. So let's wait 5 minutes and be right back. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. I have the camera facing down so that you can see that I'm about to cut into the pizza. I don't have a pizza cutter, but like my basic little kitchen knife works just fine. So I feel like when I watch people cook, when they don't do a taste test, it's kind of weird. Like, you kind of want to see people taste what they make. Am I crazy? Let me know down below. But it's actually early. It's not even dinner time. Do you guys want to eat pizza now or later? Who's talking to the kids? Okay. So here's the pizza. It looks good. You want to try it? Super good. Like I said, I pre-baked the crust this time around, so it's a little bit sturdier, which is good if you're going to put like lots and lots of toppings on top. If you're going to do just cheese, you don't have to, but either way, it's delicious and healthier. A lot less. I forgot what I was going to say. Because you're making the dough from scratch, there's no preservatives or anything added to it. It's just what you saw. I don't know if I was recording or not and everyone's ready to eat. I took a bite. I'm gonna take another one for you. Absolutely delicious. You definitely gotta try this recipe. Leave me a comment down below if you do. And if you have any requests for Foodie Friday, make sure you leave a comment as well. Come back next week for more videos. And that's it. Until next time, that's everything. Goodbye.